Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Kansas. But wait, before you click off the video, hold up, hold the phone, hear me out. This match you want to stay and watch. I know I say that a lot, but for reals, this match is fantastic. For so many reasons, but it's a very good one. I think you will definitely enjoy it if you stay. Now, with that being said, I was playing the Hawk the other night. You guys know I already posted the video on the new Tier 7 British battlecruiser, the Hawk. And while I was playing the Hawk, I was waiting for the game, you know. And sometimes you die and you're waiting for the ship to come back, so you're like, just jump in something else. And my little cuddle ship, when that happens, is right now the Kansas. I just jump into Kansas. Anytime I am waiting for a ship to come back, I jump in Kansas, have a good time. It's never a bad thing to jump in Kansas, you know what I mean? Kansas is just fantastic. Now, one thing I didn't notice at the time, but I found out today, was that there's a friend, a longtime viewer of the channel, in my game, and I had no idea. His name is none other than American Made, and he has a YouTube channel. So, as always, I will leave a link to his channel, and in fact, I will leave a link to his perspective from this video that you're about to watch. So, if you want to see his perspective of this particular match, highly recommend you go check him out. Both of us had a great game in this match. So I had no idea he even existed in this match, but it ended up being a freaking fantastic time. Now, we've got lots of things to talk about during this match. Now, first of all, one of the only downsides to the Kansas is that it doesn't have as much range as most of the other battleships at the tier. So it takes a little bit for us to get into range to shoot. The good news is that while that is true, it doesn't have as much range, it's also a lot more accurate. So when you do finally get in range, you have the concealment usually to get in range relatively easy. Look at that dispersion. It's all horizontal, man. You know that's going to blap. Now, unfortunately, I didn't lead him enough. One of the downsides also, having 45 caliber guns, is that they just don't go as fast as, say, the Iowas or the Montanas. So the shells are a little bit slower. So, at those extreme distances, it does take a little bit more lead to hit the target to where you want it. But, still, you can't argue with 13,000 damage. Ain't nobody going to take a shot at 20 kilometers and go, well, yeah, it wasn't very good salvo. I only did 13,000 damage to him. I think you're pretty happy at doing 13,000 damage. You know what I'm saying? Especially at 18 plus kilometers. Like, it's crazy. But there you see we shoot at the North Carolina. Now pay attention to what my team is going to do here. More specifically, pay attention to the battleship at the front and the Baltimore that's right next to us. The battleship next to me off my bow currently is the Massachusetts, aka American Made. So keep an eye on what he does during this match as well. The enemy the friendly Scharnhorst is literally just sailing straight up in here. Now, on one hand, I wouldn't have spotted these guys if it wasn't for the Scharnhorst yellowing up in here. So, for that, I thank you. On the other hand, I get the worst RNG you could ask for there, shooting at a Heinrich who's turning towards us. We thought we aimed high enough up, but apparently we still ended up hitting his we didn't hit his superstructure. We fell short and hit his armor plating as he was turning in. So we did nothing on that salvo. And anytime you fire your guns in the Kansas and you get nothing, it feels like it hurts that much more. But the good news about the Kansas is, yeah, you only get that once or twice during a game. Usually, the Kansas is about as reliable as it gets. Now there we follow it up with 6200. You can see the Skane here, or Skane, whatever you want to call it, is in the cap in front of us. Now there's a few things that we need to know about when it comes to those kinds of destroyers. Most notably, the Pan-Euro destroyers, like the Skane, they don't have smoke, right? They don't have a get-out-of-jail-free card. Plus, they have fast reloading, fast torpedoes, but they don't do a lot of damage. Now, these are all things that you have to have in the back of your mind, especially in a situation where we're going to get to. Now, I don't normally play as passively as I do in this particular match, but at the end of the game, you're going to see why that was so important in this game. Now, we've got the Heinrich pushing in with the destroyer. They've captured the Charlie Cap. Our team on the north, the destroyer decided to go all the way around the edge of the map, presumably to try to torp people on the backside of the island, which is all well and good, but unfortunately, that's a Wichita over there on that side as well. So between the Wichita and the fact that there's battleships pushing them, and for whatever reason our destroyer managed to get himself pinned into the corner of the map, he's not long for this world. On top of that, our Caracciolo manages to just YOLO in on that side, and now he goes down. So we're down 3 ships to none when finally American Made comes through and punishes the enemy Heinrich, which is huge. Now watch what American Made and I do from this point on. The Balti is whatever at this point, but American Made and I go in opposite directions. This does what? What do we always talk about trying to force into World of Warships Legends games, especially in battleships? We want crossfires, right, boys? Now, the unfortunate side of this is we just absolutely neutered the North Carolina there. The unfortunate side effect of me and him going opposite directions is that there's a big island between him and the bad guys at the moment, meaning he's going to struggle to get shots off. Now, he does have a shot over the top of that island for a very short amount of time where he gets a shot into the North Carolina, and that leaves the North Carolina, of course, with just enough to get away. So we take a shot at him, and I thought he was dead, I'll be real honest. But unfortunately, we get another one of those salvos that's so rare with the Kansas where we just get no damage. Like, when we need to finish the guy off, it just protects him, you know? And this happens a lot in Legends, but it just doesn't seem to happen all that often with the Kansas. And that's when we see that there's a Bismarck just beached on the island. So we're like, well, I can't shoot the North Carolina. He's behind the island. So between me and American Made, we're going to run this guy all the way down. Right? There's no, you don't get away with these kinds of mistakes at higher tiers. And this goes back to what I was saying yesterday as well. Now, we're not aiming high enough. As you can see, we're missing a lot of shells on this Bismarck. But watch, we take a torpedo here, it does no damage. 4,200 damage, not even a flood. Like, that is the reason that these Pan-Euro destroyers are just not really that scary in most situations. Like, you have to take a lot of torpedoes for them to really get you. But we do manage to finish off the Bismarck. The North Carolina is being attacked by me, American Made in the Massachusetts, and of course our carrier. You can see carrier coming in with a full squadron, getting ready to drop some bombs down on the deck of that North Carolina. Now, I don't know why this skein gets spotted initially. I'm assuming it has something to do with planes. But then our cruiser does the unthinkable. Our cruiser decides to radar this guy on the backside of an island, and I'm like, why? Why would you do that? There is literally no one who can shoot this guy right now. Why waste your radar? But that's when the Lexington gets spotted doing something unthinkable. He's coming forward in a carrier. What? Now, you're going to see why that's so important in a little while, but we immediately make him pay for it by citadeling him, and just like that, we are already over 100,000 damage. Now, we've had some bad salvos, but this skein, or Scane, whatever you want to call it, has managed to screw the pooch here as well, because now he's no longer radared, but now the carrier's above him, keeping him spotted, and I'm rolling around the corner about to have a good time. And as he turns away here, I thought he was going to keep turning, but he actually jukes me out a little bit. But we do manage to land a lot of shells. We get 2 full penetrations, 1 overpin, taking him down below half his hit points. You can see American-made shells coming in deep. The Balti actually gets a pretty decent salvo on him as well. But unfortunately, our Baltimore is not long for this world, as the skein actually ends up finishing him off. But the time it took that skein to finish off the Balti and sit there has allowed me to reload my guns. And here you can see he is starting to change course, and I overestimate his ability to change course. And I shoot a little too far forward, and we only get 3 overpins. If I aim just a little further back, he dies. Now you see American-made shells coming in again, and unfortunately not able to finish off the destroyer. But I can't worry about that destroyer right now because I've got bigger fish to fry. This Wichita, if he gets away, we lose this match. Look at the points difference. There's only 6 minutes left in this match, and it takes a minute and a half or 100 seconds to capture a base. So we go ahead and we aim for the Wichita here, and look at that accuracy. You'll love to see it. It is beautiful. Pow! All his health, but of course in true Spartan fashion, we leave him with just enough to get away. And Now we have to worry about the destroyer. Now, once again, destroyer manages to torp us, and once again we take the torp on the belt. We get no flood from it. American Made is in a position. He is once again going out wide from us. We're not sitting on top of one another. American Made is actually going to swing around the outside edge, and that's going to allow us to once again have better firing angles. He's not a full crossfire, but between the two of us, it is going to make it to where we are able to focus down different targets, right? And at one point, he has a beautiful look at the Wichita in a moment, but he leaves the Lexington with just enough to get away, and so this time, I get to finish off what I started and take out the Lexington. Now, unfortunately, Georgia does manage to take out the turrets, but the Skane makes a huge misplay here. I don't know if he thought I fired all my guns, but my front guns were ready and willing, and of course, we load up, aim ahead of him, and all we need is 1 or 2 shells, and we finish him off. He gets a beautiful, beautiful torp strike on me here. And once again, no floods, and I'm still fully alive. That was a beautiful torp strike. That was about as good a torp strike as you're ever going to get out of those things. And I'm still only half health, and I've not taken a single flood for it. So this is the problem with those particular destroyers, in my opinion. But Georgia, you can't do this, my guy. Like, you've known I've been here this whole time. I've been spotted this whole time. So we're going to make you pay for being broadside. He does get turned in his you know, defense. The Georgia does get turned in. Wichita actually takes a torpedo, and I don't know if you noticed or not, but he actually took a flood. So he had the damage con right there. But American Made has a beautiful look at him right now, and I'll be honest, American Made, I know you're watching. Been a long-time supporter of the channel. I love you. That shot that you just took was awful. We all do it. We all have those shots. Like the shot I had on the Skane initially, or at the end there, or not at the end, but the one where he was like changing course and I overlet him. Yeah. If you watch American Made's perspective on that particular shot on the Wichita, I don't know if he just kind of like got excited or what, but he tried to rush the shot and he pulls. And I've done this many a times too, where you'll see me go to hurry up and clutch shot somebody, and I'll end up like getting really, really sensitive input for whatever reason, and I end up just missing by 1.5 miles. That's exactly what he did in that one shot. And honestly, that could have cost us the game. Just due to the fact that Wichita, all he has to do is hide. Easier said than done when you're up against a freaking carrier, and our carrier's right there, ready to take advantage of him. But the Wichita's very agile cruiser, so it's going to be easy for him to dodge a carrier, potentially. But American Made cut back inside, and he is now in the perfect place to take a shot to finish off the Wichita. And American Made, everything that the last shot was that you took on the Wichita, you corrected it here, because that was a beautiful shot to finish off the Wichita. Wait for it. Come on. I believe. I believe. There it is. We take a shot here at this Georgia, and this is why I never fear anybody in the Kansas. In a one-on-one engagement in the Kansas, the Dreadnought Shuffle, my ability to get all of my guns on target after you fire your front guns, you have no chance. Georgia only has 4 guns over the bow. Unless I just go full broadside to the man, he's got no chance in this engagement. Now, I'm not going to lie, American Made, love you, appreciate you, long-time supporter on the channel, but if you ever do this to me again, you and I are going to fight. I was so close. I know I wasn't going to get the crack in here, but in all seriousness, like, I took all the health off that Georgia. I did everything I could, and he comes in and yoinks the kill right at the very end. Giving him 3 kills, fair enough. Giving me 3 kills, fair enough. I get 2,900 base. He gets 2,600 base. The Turpets did fantastic on his side for what it was worth. He got 2 kills. The I forget who the 4th person was. The Saipan, the carrier, coming in clutch there at the end as well. So, honestly, you can't complain about your teammates in this one. This was a fantastic game. It looked like it was going to be a disaster early on, but we managed to put ourselves in the right place at the right time and bring this one all the way back for a very satisfying ending, even if I was ready to reach through the screen and ghost dad Mr. American Made after he yoinks the Georgia off of me. But GG's, everybody. Don't forget to go over. I will leave a link to his channel and his perspective of this video. Make sure you guys check him out. Give him some of that Spartan love. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.